Lord, remove lying, remove lying, remove lying. I don't want lying to make me handed over to Lucifer. I don't want my weakness to become my distraction. I refuse to be handed over to Lucifer. So I go ahead and I repent. I would rather pay the price than be collateral damage. I choose, Jehovah. I choose to let this thing go. I don't want to be handed over because of unforgiveness. I choose, Jehovah. I choose rather to release my weakness so I can grab a hold of my greatness. I choose to release my weakness so I can get a hold of my greatness. There's greatness inside me. There's greatness inside me. May I never get to a place where I'm handed over to the devil for the disciplining of the flesh so that my soul can be saved. May I not live a life where I'm being disciplined by Lucifer as an assignment from God. May I walk in obedience. May I walk in obedience. May I live what God says live. May I lose what God says lose. May I have the grace to obey. The grace to obey quickly. The grace to change quickly. The grace, Jehovah. I want the grace to obey quickly. The grace to change quickly. The grace to be teachable. Remove every argumentative spirit. Remove that spirit. Remove that spirit from me. I don't want this spirit to cost me. I surrender this thing to you. I surrender it to you. No pretense. No more pretending. No more hiding. I'm coming here in all honesty. I surrender my all. I surrender my all. I'm tired of pretending. I want to be a Christian for real. I'm willing to pay the price to lay my weakness and my sin on the altar. Sins of the mind, I will lay them at the altar. Actions that I take that are not according to your word, I lay them at the altar. I surrender. Lord, I give you my heart. I give you my soul. I give you my body. Let my body be a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is just but a reasonable service. Let him who names the name of the Lord, let him depart from iniquity. Let me not behave like my fathers. Let me not behave like my mothers. Every misbehavior that is in me, I lay it down at the altar. I choose not to justify myself anymore. I choose not to give excuses anymore. No more excuses. Give me a teachable spirit. Give me a teachable spirit. Let him who argues argue no more. Let him who blame shifts blame others no more. Let him who blames others blame others no more. I take responsibility from my weaknesses. I take full responsibility. Create in me a clean heart. Renew a right spirit in me. I don't want to be a person who is unforgiving. I choose. I don't want to be a person who keeps bringing up the past of others. I choose to be a better person. I choose to be a forgiving person. I choose to walk in love. Help me, Lord. Help me. Help me not to be hateful. Help me to be a better Christian. Help me to be a better child of God. I surrender it all to you. I surrender it all to you. Every weakness, I surrender it. Every iniquity, I surrender it. I want to be better so I can do better. I want to be the best version of me. Help Help me to be a blessable version. Help me to be a person you can deliver. Help me to be a person you can set free. Lord, like you say to Abraham in Genesis 17, walk before me and be blameless. Walk before me and be blameless, and I will multiply you exceedingly. I want to be blameless. I want to be blameless. Help me to qualify for exceeding multiplication. Help me to be blameless, Jehovah. To be blameless means you fully repent, means you totally surrender, means you take yourself to the altar of God, means you take your sickness, your weakness, your mind, your body, your proclivities, you take it all to the altar and you surrender it unto him. I surrender it, Lord. It could have been happening for 10 years, but I surrender. I could have been arguing for 15 years, but I surrender. I choose to surrender. I choose to surrender. I choose to surrender. I surrender before I'm handed over to the devil. I choose to surrender, Lord. You don't have to hand me over, Jehovah. I choose to surrender. I choose to get my pride out of the way. I choose to get my weakness out of the way. I choose to get my lust out of the way. I choose to get that alcohol habit out of the way. I choose to get that smoking habit out of the way. I choose to surrender. I surrender it. I surrender it, Lord. Today is a day of surrender. You could be watching this live or delayed or even as a short clip. It's a day of surrender. I surrender unto you. I will no longer delay the day of obedience. Today is my day of obedience. Today is my day of surrender. Satan, I'm no longer in your kingdom. I'm now fully a child of God. I'm entering a new covenant with God. I'm obeying him. I will be blameless, and I'm making a covenant with God. I'm gonna be the Phineas in my family because I surrender. Because I surrender. I choose to 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 surrender. While others are being stubborn, I choose to surrender. I refuse to be hard-headed. I refuse to be stubborn. I refuse to have my way. Not my will, but your will. I surrender to your will. And let me do what you want. Help me to want what you want. Help me to walk how you want me to walk. I choose to surrender. I choose to surrender. I choose to surrender, Manto. I choose to surrender. I make a choice. I make a conscious decision to surrender. I surrender, Jehovah. I surrender, Jehovah. Abatulanda bakata bahaya. Aya danda bakatiata bakatianda. I choose to surrender, Lord. Say, Lord, today the life of compromise, it dies. Every life of compromise, it dies today. I will no longer compromise. I will no longer make excuses for my weaknesses because the devil is using those weaknesses. How can I compromise on something Lucifer is using? I choose to kill the weaknesses. I choose to kill them. I choose to kill them by surrendering them. As I surrender the weaknesses, I will be blameless. Then I will make a new covenant with you. I will make a new covenant with you. Every weakness that is stopping my greatness, I surrender. Every weakness that is stopping my greatness, I surrender it unto you, O Lord. If any man wants to follow me, let him deny himself. Let him deny himself. From today, I will deny myself. I will deny myself. I will deny myself that alcohol. I will deny myself that sex. I will deny myself. I will deny myself those drugs. I will deny myself that pornography. I will deny myself. If any man wants to follow me, let him deny himself. Let him discipline himself. Let him tell himself to tell himself no. I will deny myself. I will deny myself. Everything you've been telling yourself it's okay. Today you are telling yourself it's not okay. It's not okay, it's delaying me. It's not okay, it's costing me. It's not okay, it's frustrating my destiny. I choose to deny myself and I will follow you. Except a corn of wheat fall in the ground and die, it abideth alone. I don't want to abide alone. I choose to die to money, to die to sin, to die to weakness. I choose to die. So I surrender myself. I choose to die. If any man if any man wants to produce much fruit, let him die. Today I crucify every weakness. You better pray that prayer. I crucify every weakness. I crucify it. I kill it. I destroy it. Anything that does not please God, I destroy it today. I exchange it for the blessing. I exchange it for the blessing. I exchange the weakness for the blessing. I would rather lay the weakness on the altar so I can pick up the greatness of the blessing. Kandamaya Andamakotabaya Alatabakatamaya. You know that no kudzora kumashure. You don't need anyone to prophesy. Unoziva zvinokudzorera kumashure. Pamwe ihasha dzausati wadhila nadzo. You better deal with that anger. You better lay it on the altar. Abatanda bakati andamaya. You better lay it on the altar. If any man desires to follow Jesus, let him deny himself. Shatamandamaya. I have decided to follow Jesus. Adamaya. I have decided. I have decided. I have decided. I have decided. I have decided.